different than every art on astro.com for free, and see if you have any little images and symbols in that 12th house, and it'll be labeled number 12, because you need to know. Because what you will, when you read my book, or if you start looking at what the 12th house means, you'll know it's accurate. Because everyone that has planets in the 12th house, sun, moon, anyone with strong Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, they're going to relate to my book, because it's a similar energy, because Pisces rules the 12th house, the sign Pisces, and Neptune, the planet, is associated with the 12th house. So the 12th house is all about oneness with God, oneness with humanity, serving others, mystical experiences, behind the scenes, secrets, monasteries, mental asylums, addiction, escapism, these intense spiritual experiences you can't explain. Most people that have planets here are empaths. They feel everything in their environment, and they feel other people's pain. They know what's going on with people. They are dreamers. It's the house of dreaming, sleep, and rest. All those things are related to the 12th house. So they dream. A lot of 12th house people dream of the future. I did it since I was 16. I would dream things that would happen. No one could explain it to me. So I was on a journey to find out, why am I weird and why am I different? And so astrology became the thing I used to explain my life. And I love it. And I use, once I collected my research and share my own experiences, other people would open up to me. And every time I do their chart, Rex, they have 12th house planets. I'm like, this is why you're a 12th houser. You're born this way, and you're meant to use your abilities to help other people. But the greatest lesson they have is to learn to have boundaries, because they're wide open, and people with problems are drawn to them. So they're healers. People are sense their energy, and they want to be around them, and they tell them all their problems. So 12th house people kind of have a sign on their back that says, come to me for help. If they don't learn boundaries from a young age, and no one ever teaches them, it's okay to say no. It's okay to be in healthy relationships. It's okay not to let people use you and abuse you, right? And then they feel abandoned. They often feel lonely and hurt by the world and by people, because they're so sensitive. They're so compassionate. So they have to learn to get a tougher skin, and how they do that is to have strong, healthy boundaries with people and the world. And so I talk about that in the book. Those are tips that can help them overcome all of these very intense spiritual things that they go through. A lot of 12th house people, they see ghosts. They wake up and see their deceased grandmother standing at the foot of their bed. They dream about something before it happens, which is what happened to me. All kinds of unexplained things. And we're how we're in this material world. People are judgmental. Everyone's lived, you just get so focused on making a living, making money, paying your bills. Most people aren't connected to the spiritual side of life. Like, what is the purpose of life? We're a soul. We're not a physical body. We're here for a reason. And 12th house people feel that. They feel different than everyone around them. They know they're in a world that they don't belong. But they do belong here, but they're different. And they have to accept that it's okay they're different, and they're different for a reason, because they're fallen angels. They're here to help other people heal. That's their journey. And that's why I love this house, because everyone I've met with 12th house planets, 12th housers, Pisces people, are very kind, and they're creative, they're artistic, they're musicians, artists. They go into counseling, they go into psychology, social work, healing, medicine. They like to help people. And so it's a blessing to have 12th house planets. And it's also, I would say, a blessing and a curse, because the curse is that they have a lot of heartache in their life until they learn to have boundaries, because they're idealistic. They put people on pedestals, and they only see the world with rose-colored glasses. And that gets them hurt, because they're like an angel. It's like that movie with Nicolas Cage, when he fell to earth, you remember, he was like pure and innocent. Everything was good, right? And they realize real quick, oh, this is not where I'm from, right? And they have to learn to have a tougher skin. And, oh, people aren't nice like me. They lie, they hurt me. Okay. So, they have to learn that it's part of their learning to overcome and not feel like a victim, because a lot of them can feel like victims. And that's when we get into the more negative interpretations of the 12th house. Because when I was growing up, I couldn't find any books that were positive about this house. All of them were scary. And so that's why in my book, I try to make it healing and positive and help people be resilient. Because my first astrologer did my chart when I was 19. He said, anything you put before God will get taken away from you. Quote. I'm like, what? You know, being 19, what does that mean, right? That means anything I put before a spiritual path or God will get taken from me. And that's a little bit of what the 12th house is about. It's about if they don't have a spiritual path, they struggle in life. They need to have a belief in a higher power. It doesn't have to be a specific religion. You know, it can be energy, but a lot of them are drawn to the monastery and to be monks and nuns and priests. A lot of them do go that route. And because they like to be alone, they need solitude. They're one of those houses where, similar with Pisces, they need time alone to recover and to recoup their energy so they can go back out and help people, because it's called the house of service or suffering. That's what it's associated with in astrology. So you have to be doing something to help other people, or you struggle when you have planets in this house.
Yeah, service for others, right? Like having balance.
Oh, I lost you.
Oh, you did? Okay. I said service for others.
Yes, service for others. Yes.
Like you definitely want to take care of yourself, because that way you can, you feel great. So you feel great. You can take care of other people. If you feel like crap, it's harder to take care of other people. But definitely that's like alchemy right there. That's transformation. So you take lemons and you make some lemonade.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then you also talk a bit about like Neptune and the 10th house.
Oh yeah, or Neptune. Yeah, Neptune rules the 12th house.
Okay. Yes. So I saw a chapter in your book that said something about the.
Oh yes. Yeah. Neptune through the houses. Yeah, I talk about Neptune in each house and how that affects you. So everyone, when you do your natal chart, your free natal birth chart, you'll be able to see where the planet Neptune is. It'll be in a certain sign, which is based on everyone born certain years are going to have Neptune in the same sign, because it affects generations, right? Same with Pluto. But your house placement is what's most important to know about Neptune. So for me, I got Neptune in the 3rd house. So Neptune is positive and negative, just like the 12th house, right? Because Neptune is the planet of spirituality. It's the planet of illusion and disillusionment, okay? And where we feel imaginative and creative, but also where we can be suffer and have loss and have to sacrifice something, right? And so wherever Neptune is can show where you have some heartache in your life, and where you are blinded, where you don't see things clearly. That's Neptune, because Neptune is about seeing things the way you want them to be, idealistically. Like, this is and then when you realize it's not what you thought, you want to escape, you want to withdraw. And that's why the 12th house is associated with addiction, because Neptune is the planet of alcohol and addictions. So, and why that is it's Neptune rules those things. So if you have Neptune in the 6th house, I always tell people, always get a second opinion from a doctor. Be careful what medications you take, because your body, you'll be extra sensitive to medications, to side effects. You could also suffer from unexplained mystical health problems that no doctor can figure out what's wrong with you. That's very common when Neptune transits our 6th house of health, or if it's in your natal chart in your 6th. If it's in your home and family, there could be some secrets and things you're not aware of about your parents, your mom, your dad, your siblings, or your home life. Okay, you might have idealized your home life when really it wasn't as good as you really thought it was. You find out later, maybe you were abused as a child. You never knew that, because Neptune's about secrets. It's about what we hide from ourselves and others, and what the world hides from us. So that's why the 12th house is associated with secrets, secret enemies, secret love affairs, if you have Venus there in the 12th, all these different things. So in my book, you can look up what house your Neptune is in, and I explain, what it means. you can look up all the planets in the 12th house, but you can also look up Neptune in each of the houses. And I give a little bit of I have an article I wrote years ago out there online that I kind of tweaked and added to the book about Neptune, because Neptune's important to know, because it rules the 12th house. It rules the sign Pisces. Every sun sign has a planetary ruler. So Pisces is ruled by Neptune. That's why Pisces are usually very artistic, creative, spiritual, mystical people, musicians, artists, right? They're really good at that. But they're also known to suffer from addictions. I did a lot of research on it. People that have 12th house planets and people that are Pisces sun, a strong Neptune in their chart, can suffer with alcohol addiction. I looked at people that were attending Alcohol Anonymous meetings. Just looking at sun sign alone, many of them were Pisces sun, had their sun in the sign Pisces. Okay. So just little things like that. And I've met people, I've counseled, they're like, yeah, I struggle with alcohol addiction. I overcame it. I have a 12th house sun, or I'm a Pisces sun, so it's very common, and it's just, once you know yourself, you know what you need. You can get tips on how to prevent some things, right? If you do your chart at a young age, it can really help you. I always tell people, always get your child's chart done if you have a kid, because it'll help you as a parent. How do I parent them? How do I, what can I do to help them be strong and confident in who they are? And so I used to do parent reports, I have printouts and help parents understand their children's chart. I've done that a lot in my life. And I do that with my own kid. She's 18 now. She's going to be leaving for college next year, but it's amazing, how her chart has played out in her life, and I've seen it play out, and it just happened. I knew certain things would happen, and that's my daughter. She started doing these things and has these talents and interests, and I kind of knew in her chart she was going to. So it's really interesting.
I wonder how much the world would be different.
Oh, I lost you, Rex.
I'm here. You can't hear me?
Here you go. No, you went blank. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. The Matrix is glitching out.
Yeah.
Little Matrix codes are coming out here and there.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
what the heck was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Imagine a world that used this tool and put it in schools and training for different fields, and didn't separate it from everything and make it look as if it was woo or goofy or your horoscope that you would read in a newspaper, which they've got that obviously. And, people like to read that one. Oh, what is my horoscope? Oh, look, today you're going to find love. Oh, today you might not find love.
It's so basic. Yeah, it's vague. It's always very vague and subjective when you read those. So there's so much more to it. Right. No, I believe what you're saying is exactly right. I would love to see it. And I tried it. That's what I try to do when I write about astrology. I try to write it on a basic level. I got a sun signs book out there too. That's a new book called Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing. And in that book, I talk about each sign, the basics of everything. But I use that same kind of information at work, because, at work, everyone does team building, right? It's a big thing. So like in businesses, organizations, people do the 4 lenses. That's a big one. The Myers-Briggs, right? All these different things. And what I've always said is that this is astrology. These 4 colors you're talking about are the 4 elements in astrology. They're air, fire, earth, and water. The personality traits you're describing are the same as the fire, air, earth, and water signs. And so I've always related that to the 4 lenses and all of these, evidence-based psychological tools that government businesses feel comfortable using, right? I got trained in the 4 lenses. You do a test, you take a questionnaire, you find out what your top 2 colors are, and that's your personality, and they analyze it, right? It's just like astrology. Astrology is actually more accurate, honestly, than that. So I've been trying to figure out a way to bring that into some kind of a tool that people could use at work or with their kids, or in any situation, to make it very practical, to make this practical and applicable, where people don't think, oh, this is evil, or this is crazy or weird, right? That they see that it's accurate. And when I do someone's chart, or, you know, or with people I work with and meet that aren't into this, they're shocked. They're just absolutely, wow, this is something, you know, how do you know this? This is because it's your chart. You know, I'm not making stuff up here. I'm analyzing what I know the energy is, and it's very scientific. Why it works, how it works, I can't always answer that. It works. That's all I know. It works. And yeah, those are my 3 books. The Sun Signs one is for beginners. If you are on here listening and you don't know if you have 12th house planets, read my Sun Signs book. Do your free astro.com art wheel. And if you're a 12th houser or 8th houser, you can grab my 12th and 8th house book if you have planets there. But you know, lots of good information. I have a Facebook page. Yeah, I'd love for you to follow it, and I have articles and different things I'm doing. And I do this to help people, and I like to help people because people are seeking answers, and people are getting, because she was raised with me, right, in this stuff. So, but now that she's a little bit older, she's like, Mom, you know, I know my top 3's this, you know, and my friends wanting to know, what's her chart, you know, and her friends, and she's seen it on TikTok, you know, and all these, you know, these teenager, it's all about astrology. She told me she saw something about, you know, the 12th house, or the, you know, Mars, and, you know, and she's asking me questions. So I think more people are interested in it, which is also my theory, is because we're moving in the age of Aquarius. Pluto goes into Aquarius. Aquarius actually rules astrology. It's associated with astrology, Aquarius, the sign. So it's not surprising. I think more and more people will be looking at astrology and seeing it as a very powerful tool that has been around in ancient religions and cultures for a long time. It's not against the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's in there, you know.
What do you think the Bible is, folks? It's astrotheology at its finest.
There you go. You cut out again. Now you're back.
See, I don't think I'm cut. It might just be on yours. Hopefully the recording, it'll be fine.
Oh, because good. Yeah. Okay, good.
I was just going to say that the Bible is, I mean, if you want astrotheology, meaning astrological poetry describing, or let's give you another example, anthropomorphic figures, heroes, the hero's journey. Oftentimes these stories that relate to astrology, but they do it in storytelling, they do it in theater. That's what astrotheology is. So when people talk about astrology in the Bible and how it's, you know, oh, well, my pastor, or I learned that it was evil. Most of these people that say astrology is evil, they read it somewhere, or somebody told them. Like, they didn't actually, they're repeating something that they heard. They're not even researching it, because you do the research, you're like, wait a second, the majority of scripture is astrotheology. They're talking about the zodiac and the planetary body. So you take that out of life. If you take that out of people's lives and you control that for yourself, and you make it look hocus pocus, you got the keys to the matrix right there. No wonder billionaires use astrology and millionaires don't.
Exactly. It is like a lot of knowledge that was hidden from us to control the people, you know, back during those historic times, you know,
and still to this day, you know, I mean, it's but age of Aquarius, it's starting to come out. This knowledge is being presented, and people are realizing.
We're going to have a well, Aquarius is all about innovation, technology, the future, rebellion.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Tell me more.
Rebelling against things that don't make sense intellectually. Yeah. Are you an Aquarius?
No, I'm not, but I love it. I'm like the ultimate rebel.
Do you have Aquarius in your chart somewhere? Because you're a rebel. You got to have something.
I must. I'll tell you what I am off air, but yeah.
Okay. It is really deep. It is that way. Like I'm that way. I saw a meme on Facebook, and I always laugh because that's me. It's like, it was like Leonardo DiCaprio or something saying, I need to know when's your birthday? And the guy's like, why? And he's like, then he doesn't trust him because he won't give him his birth information, you know, because it is like, it's big to me. Like, cause I need to know, it helps me understand who I'm working with and what their personality is, what their strengths are, what they need. when you know someone's chart, you know them on a deeper emotional level, and you can give them what they need. And you'll know, like, I know if someone needs me to listen, or someone needs me to be more direct and talk and be that for them. So I'm able to adapt how I treat people